Ready? Okay, so we wanted to come on and talk about our autism story and what it's been like for us from the start. I don't think this is meant to be a comparison for people to watch and be like, if my son's not doing this, my daughter's not doing this.
It's important to share with people.
I think so, yeah. I think it's valuable. Even though, you know, everybody's experience with autism is going to be, you know, completely unique and different, I think there's huge value in sharing it with each other anyways. So if autism is a part of your life, you know, you should share it with people too, and share it in the comments with us or away from this video with friends and family elsewhere, you know. Just let people in. I think that's important. Should we get right into it?
Yeah. So Isaac is a little baby. He was a very difficult baby.
He was fussy.
He was very fussy.
And the thing is, like, we were really young parents anyways, so
You know what we're doing.
we were having a hard enough time just figuring out how to have a newborn baby. And I did not know anything about autism other than that it's a thing. That's it. Soon enough, we had to dive right in.
Actually, he did do some things right on schedule, or even a little bit earlier than some kids. Like, he learned to walk when he was 10 months old. So young walking.
It was so cute. What you doing? He was hitting some physical milestones for sure.
Come on, Dupin.
And action. Not too shabby. Whoa, you got all the way to me?
The first time I ever saw Isaac interacting with the world in like a really curious like way, I could tell he was interested, is when I was wearing a sweatshirt that said Cape Cod, and he was really young. I don't know how young. He was definitely younger than 18 months, probably by a lot. You know, I was holding him wearing that sweatshirt, and his eyes were focused on it, and he was pointing to every single letter, one by one by one by one, and he did that for like 15 minutes, and I was like, he is fascinated by these letters in a way that I never saw him interested whatsoever in anything else. We never knew what that
started it all.
We never knew what it would become.
The alphabet, letters in general, everywhere you see them.
Yes.
The book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Oh yes, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. That was a big one.
He knows all his letters. Isaac's going to show you.
Yeah.
And it was impressive.
We were just so impressed.
Where is the K? H. Yeah.
Z O G K E.
Where's A? Yeah.
And so we got comments of, like
About
about how smart he was, and I think that was the beginning of me being like, yeah, this is a little different, isn't it?
But I don't feel like we still had a huge concern yet.
No.
But the other thing was, even though he knew his alphabet so well and all the letters and all the sounds they made, he still wasn't using words. He still wasn't talking. We asked his doctor, and the doctor had like no concerns. I felt like he thought we were not exaggerating, just being overly concerned parents.
He thought we were being a little, overly concerned. Like
Young.
what appointment was that when we brought that concern of autism to the doctor?
It was probably his 18-month appointment.
18-month appointment.
Yeah.
Okay. At that appointment, I remember he was sort of hugging you, and so the doctor said that because he was showing that sort of affection, that we didn't have anything to worry about. And then looking back on it, it kind of does annoy me, because I remember the doctor sounding confident, like almost pushing our concerns to the side. And I think that that's sort of an important note, because we're with our children every single day. So if we notice something that might be developmentally off, we're the experts, you know what I mean? The reality is that autism's much more complex than that. We ended up leaving that pediatrician because we just wanted, I don't know, we needed to try someone else that might have a better understanding for what we were going through, you know? When you're staring down a life that you didn't anticipate.
Right, you don't ever like think in your head that your kids will have autism. I think Isaac was like 21 months when he started with early intervention, and I remember the ladies who evaluated him telling me they can't, you know, they're not allowed to diagnose a kid, but they saw the signs for autism in Isaac, which is something we like expected anyway for them to say.
I think we had him in the gymnastics class during that time, just trying stuff to see how it works.
I've always been home with Isaac. He's never been in like daycare. So of course he spent time with kids like when I went to like playgrounds with him or things like that, but we never saw him in a group of kids who were all the same exact age as him. And until the gymnastics class. They were all like around 2 years old. They're all around the same exact age. And he was so different than all the other kids.
It was just, just watching how the other kids were able to follow direction.
Be engaged with the class.
Whereas
he didn't
Isaac
care
would
that we were there.
run off and jump around and look in the mirror and scream and stuff like that. And so I think even though I already knew that we were eventually going to get that autism diagnosis, that was the first time that I saw him, you know, in a group of peers or something, and
saw
I was
the
like,
difference.
okay, well, you know, that's when I was like, okay, so we've got something significantly different going on here, and it was still very hard to accept at that time. I've come a long way since then.
I think honestly it was very hard to accept even when he was diagnosed, at least for me. Like, I didn't know if he would ever talk, if I would ever be able to talk to Isaac.
Say hi.
And that could be the case. It could still be the case with our other son, Cormac, who we're not covering in this video, but we could do a whole nother video on him, because all this stuff we're talking about right now for Isaac, we're currently going through this exact same stuff, only now that we're more seasoned veterans, it's a little bit easier, I think, as far as just our mindset. We've sort of been through it, and so we can kind of wrap our heads around what autism actually means, and so it's different this time. I think that we started, you know, because we always took Isaac out to playgrounds, tried to just get him to, you know, engage, play with other kids, or play on, you know, play equipment at playgrounds. And I remember you bringing that concern to me pretty early on, actually, too, saying that, you know, he's very low interest in climbing or sliding, and he would just, you know, pick up the mulch and run it through his fingers.
He loved to do that, and I've heard that a lot of autistic kids like to do that.
The mulch is a nice sensory activity. It feels cool. I mean, it makes a lot of sense now looking back at it.
I took Isaac to a playground, and this slightly older boy, like 5-year-old boy, kept trying to talk to Isaac, and he wasn't talking back or anything. And the boy kept saying to me, like, why doesn't he talk? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, why isn't he talking? It's hard to know what to say in those situations, and I didn't know where that kid's mom wasn't around. But I think I just said to him, he's just still learning to talk.
I've had a few interactions like that too, where he was wearing diapers at an age older than most kids wear diapers, and the kid at the playground was being a little rude about him wearing diapers, and I told the kid to screw. No, I didn't.
I have been able to talk to kids a little bit and said that Isaac might not join you guys. You know, he might not talk back to you, or you might have to repeat yourself quite a few times before he'll answer you.
And we still struggle with it today, going to playgrounds where neither of the boys are doing everything you'd expect, but we still have fun there. It's just in a different way. And I think that's sort of a good way to explain our life as a whole. We're having a blast. We're just going to do it in our own way. Like Halloween and Christmas, those are things that from my childhood that I have some of the fondest memories of. And so when I became a dad, I was so excited to spread that to the next generation, you know, and it was going to be a lot more difficult. We found out very fast that it was not going to be sort of what we'd anticipated. Isaac had no interest in going trick-or-treating. He didn't want to open any presents. No interest in things that bring most kids so much joy.
He didn't care. But you know, I even think Isaac liked some things. He liked the candy part of Halloween. He liked the lights. He always liked lights for Christmas.
Yes, there's always unique parts
that he really liked,
that he gets a kick out of.
Yeah.
And you can just focus on some of those things and, you know, continue to work with them. It's just going to be a little different, and there's nothing wrong with being different. And I think that's the flaw in my thinking from earlier on, is that I was scared of different.
Yeah, well, even us going to Disney World, they're gonna, especially Isaac's gonna like things about it that not all kids like about Disney.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how he is.
I can't wait to find out all the unique little things that he gets a kick out of in Disney, because he's gonna figure out his way to enjoy it. We've taught Isaac a lot and helped him grow, but he's helped us grow and taught us probably way, way more. So when you thought that your life was shattered to bits when you got an autism diagnosis, well, you find out you can actually build it back up in an even cooler, much, much better way. I don't know, you're just more open-minded. That's not to say there's not struggles, because we struggle every single day.
Yeah, I don't know if we honestly, like, let that be clear enough, but like
We struggle
a
every
lot.
single day, but I feel like on a grand scheme, like there's just been a little bit of a shift in my head as far as thinking about the things that are actually important.
You do change
Yeah.
your thinking
Yeah.
because that's your kid and
That's-
they're unique and they aren't just a kid with autism, you know. We want Isaac to be himself and use his letters like in a great way to like to engage with the world, when before I felt like it was a way that disengaged him. Now it engages him
So if you
because
can-
there's words, there's letters everywhere. It engages him, makes him excited.
So he can be, you know, he can be himself and have that interest in that, but we can also kind of sort of try to channel it into some productive social learning, and then hopefully, you know, create an independent, happy life for him, because that's all I want is happiness and independence.
For him to be as independent as possible.
As independent and as happy as possible.
Because,
That's the
like,
name of the game. I really do think that telling your story is important. You know, in just that you can reach the people, even if just in your immediate circle in your own life, you can create an environment where people just are more aware and understand what you or whoever the autistic person, you or your child, is like. Just understand more so that you can grow into a healthier environment. So if you want, tell us your autism story in the comments. We'd love to go through and read all of them.
And
It's fun.
I'm sure that there are similar cases and
Probably similarities
No.
and differences
Yeah.
and all kinds of little unique bits. Happy Autism Awareness Month, because it is Autism Awareness Month now, you know.
oh yeah, April's a big month for us.
Thank you so much. If you enjoyed our little story, subscribe to our channel to see more of our family. I hope to see you soon. We're fist bumping.
Okay.
Yeah.